Hi, I'm Chris Edwards. I'm the proprietor of Edwards Newsagents, your ideal shop in the High Street in Watton. I've been here for nearly 40 years personally, but my forebears have been here since 1865. As my forebears took it over, my grandfather worked with his father, my father worked with his father, I worked for many years with my father, and then my father took retirement at 65, and I've pretty much been running it ever since. There's always been this huge historical burden with this business, with great-grandfather starting it, and each of the generations continuing it on. And I feel, I have two views on it really. Either we've been enormously successful or we've actually gone nowhere. We're still operating from the same single shop in the High Street. Is that success? I tend to think it is. I've had a happy and fulfilling life within the news trade on Watton High Street. I've had a happy, fulfilling life meeting all my friends every day. My office door is always open and I waste so much time talking to friends, but I don't really consider it a waste. I think people come into the independent stores in the High Street because they get to see Mr. Edwards and Mr. Longcock and Mr. Smith and Mr. Adcock in the High Street, and I hope they come to see us because they trust us for our good service and our integrity, and I hope they come because they enjoy coming into the stores, and we've created an ethos within the store, and all our staff are friendly, efficient and well-mannered. Not that the big stores aren't, but that they feel closer to us somehow, and that they feel we are an integral part of the High Street. Whereas some of the chains, maybe they look at the bottom line and say, well, we're not going to trade in Watton anymore because we're not making the margin we need. We trade in Watton because we've been here since 1865. I am a Watton person. I stick up for Watton. I believe in Watton, and I like trading in Watton, and I like the people in Watton. I'm not saying our forebears had an easier time, because this business was traded through the Boer War, 2 world wars, and those were difficult times for different circumstances. I think when my father was growing the business through the 50s and 60s, I think it was relatively more easy to make a profit. There was less competition. The newsagent was the newsagent. He sold the papers and he sold the bars of chocolate, but he didn't try and sell things that were outside his remit. I think that trade has become more and more cutthroat and more difficult, and all the boundaries over which shopkeepers wouldn't tread have long gone. The financial conditions of late have been extremely difficult for all businesses, particularly small ones. But the elephant in the corner of the room that most of us don't talk about is the impact on market towns and high streets in particular of the march of the superstores across the whole of the business environment. I do have a view on that they're brilliant retailers. I have a view that they are socially engineering our societies now, and substantially to the detriment of delicate high streets. And I would say that our district councils should be well aware that our high streets are delicate flowers, possibly even endangered species, and they should take a serious look at the planning decisions they make that allow roads to be moved for Mr. Tesco and Mr. Sainsbury's, and car parks to be positioned in inappropriate places, entrances, and generally the ease of the business for the superstores, and they should reflect very much upon the costs that they put on the small businesses in the high street. They need to reflect also on the investment in small market towns like Watton, which I feel has been seriously lacking. The high street will not survive on its own on the hard work of the high street shopkeepers. The high street will survive with help and assistance from the district councils, and the high street will survive if the district councils take a more business-like look at how they accommodate the superstores within our communities.